Hello everyone and welcome to Art Chat. I'm Marjorie and today we are out and about at the Alliance for the Arts in Fort Myers. Now we're here to celebrate the opening of the exhibition, The Nonagenarians of Shell Point. In this exhibition, the wonderful work of Shell Point photographer Herb Sklaar is featured. And with me today is the man of the hour, Herb Sklaar.
Thank you.
Welcome to Art Chat, Herb.
Thank you.
Tell us about this exhibition. First, starting with nonagenarian, what does that mean?
Well, that's according to Google, because that's where I got the name from. It means people between the ages of 90 and 99.
Okay.
And when I was looking for a name for this project, Google, I looked
There
it up
it
in
was.
Google, that's what they gave me, so that works for me.
There it was.
There it was. That's Nonagenarians, and since they're all from Shell Point, Nonagenarians of Shell Point. Some things fall in real easy sometimes.
Now, you started this project when? A couple of years ago?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
2 years ago, yeah.
And there are how many works in this exhibition?
20.
20. Is that the entire body of the works in that?
After 20,
You were done?
I was done, yes.
Okay.
Time to go on to something else, yes.
Okay. Let's walk over and take a look at some of these wonderful works. I'm amazed at how you were able to capture the essence of the personality of these people, because I know many of these people, and boy, you really nailed it with many of them.
Well,
let's talk about Les.
Thank you. That is probably the hardest thing to do in portrait photography, is not the lighting, not the composition, but to get their essence. And it takes a lot of patience, and particularly with the way I was doing it. I was using an old film camera, about 45 years old, and so I couldn't put my finger on the button of the shutter and have it go blah, 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 and grab the best picture. I had 15 shots on a roll of film. So I had to have a conversation with everybody until I saw it, and then I pressed. And in Les's case, I started with him because he was a friend, and I didn't know what I was doing, so I figured
he was your guinea pig.
He would not make as much fun of me as other people, so I started with Les. And it was great. I spent about 3 months looking for which camera to get, what kind of film, and where to get this. I think 6 months of the 2 years was research and practice.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting. Here we have Maggie Tribby and Gracie.
They both look great. I mean, you know, once you put more than one picture of a person, if you put more than one person in a picture, your odds go down as far as getting a good picture, because both of them cooperate. But they did. They both cooperated, so it was really great. I mean, it's sweet. Both of them had this wonderful, sweet smile, and it just was,
Absolutely.
you know.
Absolutely. Ivor.
That's Ivor. He's a birder. And he takes people out, and he has that birdie look. He looks very intent. A little costume. I usually don't use props when I'm taking portraits, but I felt I wanted to use a little bit of a prop to kind of let everybody know that these people who are in their 90s are active, and this is what they were doing. And
I love this sense of dignity and purpose in these faces.
As I said, they weren't chosen because they have wrinkles.
Yeah.
They were chosen because of their zest for life and what they're doing now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Zest for life. Look at this, the swimmer.
She was such a good sport. I said, "Do you mind wearing a bathing suit?" And she did. And it's such a sweet picture, such a penetrating.
Penetrating is a good word. I mean, you were immediately drawn to the eyes.
Well, that was the one thing that I was very careful about. I didn't care if something was not quite in focus, but the eyes had to be needle sharp.
Yeah.
Because they say, you know, sometimes you've heard, well, the painting, they keep following me around, the eyes. And it's the same thing with photography.
Yeah.
The only difference with painting and photography is you only get one shot at that moment, and you got to capture that moment. Painting, you can, you know, keep doing until you get it.
Yeah.
And he didn't like this pose, but he did it for me. And as soon as he did it, I knew it was the right pose.
I like it a lot.
He's just coming out at you.
And I know him. I know he's a fabulous writer.
And that's him.
That is him.
Okay.
Dot Beard, looks like she's leading the orchestra here.
I gave her that paintbrush, and she took it that way, and she with such pride. I just snapped a picture then. You know, it was great. I'm an artist, and here I am.
And boy, did you capture her.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think Ray's his face looks so kind and generous, and that's what he is. He's a very sweet, kind, generous person, and I hope it came through.
And speaking of sweet, this almost made me cry.
Yeah, unfortunately, of the 20, this is the only one who's not with us right now. And I told him to bring in one of his sculptures, and I never bothered to check. He brought in an upside down.
But I love that.
I know.
I think that's so engaging that it's upside down.
I know, it is. And our jewelry maker here, I said to her, okay, wear a lot of jewelry in a very plain blouse. So she wore a blouse that looks like jewelry. So I figured, you know what, let's go with it.
It works.
We went with it.
It works.
Okay. Well, Mel is a brilliant scientist, if you know anything about him, but he plays bridge, and he just looks like he knows what he's doing. He's going to beat you at bridge.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to sit down next to him.
Right, he looks like, you know.
Boy, talk about quiet dignity.
Well, you know, Bob still does services every once in a while, so I asked him if he would wear the white collar, and he did, and the cross he's wearing is so simple. It's just two nails, and this is the only picture of the series where I vignetted the corners to give that almost church halo look, and it just worked.
It certainly does with this.
Yeah, he's a man of great dignity.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have a whole nother wall over here.
Well, I had the biggest kick when she came into the studio, and she had this oversized racket, and I said, oh, I got to use that. It was so perfect. She's wearing tennis outfit. She does play tennis, plus other art things, but that tennis racket made it for me.
I bet she plays well.
Yeah, she plays well, I understand.
And Jan?
Jan, I took one look at him, and I took the plants, the way he spoke about the plants and everything, I just felt he should be part of it, so I put him in there. You know, and they're growing around him. The orchids is just growing around him.
Yeah,
you know, and he just seemed happy to fit there.
Very effective. Very effective.
Well, okay, good sport. I got a little boiled out for this. He said, you don't puff your cheeks out. I said, I know you don't, but can you do it for me anyway? It'll make a better picture. So he did it. He was a good sport.
And of course, June.
Well, you know, June gives out these wonderful paper sculptures for birthdays, anniversaries. So I pasted the bird of happiness on her shoulder. You know, I just figured, where else would it belong but on June, you know?
Well, and she makes people happy. With, I mean, they just show up in your mailbox. They're wonderful. Now, I don't know Earl, so...
Oh, Earl is amazing. Earl is probably 96 now, or somewhere in that area. Earl plays golf 3 times a week, and he shoots below his age. Okay, he is truly amazing, and very enthusiastic. I enjoy doing that.
Oh, fun.
It was fun. Well, Russ is always traveling. He's going here and there, because when I was trying to make arrangements for his shot, he was coming back, he was going. And I said, you know what, bring out a suitcase. So, you know, that's what he does. He does a lot of traveling. And Helen came in. I asked her to bring 2 quilted things. She came in wearing this blazer, and I said, that blazer is too beautiful. It doesn't look like it was handmade. So she had this, and I just wrapped it around it. And Raggedy Ann is one of her favorite things.
And Mike Klein.
Mike is Mike.
I love this work. Oh my gosh, this is just Mike.
Yeah. I just gave him some tools. He made a pose. It was a done deal.
It was a done deal.
Yeah, he didn't have to work too hard on that one.
Well, thank you so much for this absolutely fabulous exhibition.
You're
welcome. I want to remind everybody that the exhibition is the Nonagenarians of Shell Point. It's at the Alliance for the Arts. It's here through March 2nd. So be sure to come out and see it. I know you'll have a really wonderful time, and you'll enjoy seeing this work so much. Thank you for being with us, Herb.
Oh, you're welcome.
It's been a real pleasure, and thanks to all of you for being with us. We'll see you again soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.